And we are live. What is up, guys? How is everybody doing on this fine... Well, I guess it depends on where you are in the world, but you know, for me, it is currently the, well, like evening, afternoon. It's 5 p.m. right in the middle. It's about evening. How is everybody doing? We got quite a chapter. I'm gonna be honest, this was one of the best chapters in a very long time. And yes, it's because Yuji cooked, alright? I'm a simple reader. The MC goes hard. All I can do is enjoy. Like, that's peak fiction, you know? Seven Sins, Eternal Flame, what's good? What is up, guys? How are you guys doing? I'll wait for some more people to come in before I start the review. It's going to be a full review. I'll be going over the entire chapter in depth. So instead of doing a video review, just like last week, I'll do a stream review of it. I prefer that. It's 11 a.m. Right, you're on... Wait, that's 6 hours. You must be somewhere on West Coast? If you're in America, maybe Canada, maybe South America, maybe? Or the South Americas? Maybe, something like that. Or West Coast America, that's what I'm just guessing. What's up? Hashtag 1EnoGlazer, what is good? What is good? I mean, the chapter was phenomenal, by the way. Like, absolutely incredible. Adam, what are you saying? How you doing? How you doing? Let me actually make a, while we wait for more people to come in before I start the review, let me make a, I can read what you guys are saying in the chat first of all, and I'll also make a poll to see what you guys thought on the chapter. Alright, listen, I see you guys sending the emojis, shout out, you know, thanks. That's a cool feature that they have here as well. Alright, let me add, okay, engage with your audience is what it says, start a poll. Chapter rating. I mean, what did you guys think about this chapter? Everyone loved it. From what I saw, everyone loved it. I loved it. It was incredible. I mean, you see the thumbnail. Yuji, Coxin, you know, Black Flash, you know. Doing my Restless Gambler impression of doing an impression of... No, that's actually... No, he did a domain expansion. That was a completely different thing, actually. Don't know why I said that. Brett, Mr. 60. I see you every time, Mr. 60 on Twitter. I see you. It's always cool when I see people who are active in chat, when I see guys on Twitter. Because usually when you have the same names, then I can recognize it. I'm like, hey, I see you all the time in chat. Like, RM, he's active on Twitter too. What's up, RM? Yo, Kaio, do you have a plan to open a Discord server? Never. At least as of now, I have no plans to ever do that. Yuji getting glazed makes me... Oh, let me scroll up. I just missed past that. It makes me uneasy. I waited 5 years for it. I mean, you know, my next video, it's going to be on why Yuji's going to die again. So, you know, spoilers, I guess, for that. I do think he's going to cook, but remember, I'll explain as I do the review, but let me actually make the chapter poll, and then I'll also start the review now as well. Chapter was okay. I thought it was great. I thought it was phenomenal. I was rereading this so many times. Like, seriously. It was something else. So, chapter rating... Alright, let me do like 10/9 out of 10 peak fiction greatness. Actually, I shouldn't put out of 10. Chapter rating, I'll do that on the top out of 10. And then we'll have 8 to 7. No, wait. Yeah, 8 to 7. Very good chapter. And then we have 6 to 5. Then we have, it's like good / okay chapter. And then -5. We'll have a -5. Bad chapter. Alright, let's see what people are saying. Let us see what people... Yuji Awakening Theory? Oh my god, yeah. It is. I mean, you know, I already put that community poll, I made that tweet. There's so many possibilities. We'll see what it is. Let's not get too hyped, you know? But in case it's not something too crazy and we... maybe it's something crazy. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yuji Itadori best new gen MC. I mean, now that I see his eyes more clearly because we've got the full clean scans, it doesn't look like it's... Because he's had those eyes before, that's the thing. You know, maybe it's an omen to him becoming like Sukuna, but maybe not, because he's had... It's like when he has intense focus, his eyes get like that. So it's not new, but hopefully it does mean something for Ryomen Sukuna along those lines, you know? Maybe awakening the box, something like that, who knows? Do you plan on going back... Oh, okay. So Julian Noah says... Also, Kai, do you plan to go back to covering versus matchups on your channel? If yes, what do you plan to do? I mean, I've wanted to do this for a while, like a month, or even longer than that. My third Yuta versus Akari, because it was one of the original videos I've done on the channel. I did a remake of it not too recently, it was actually like 8-9 months ago, which I was pretty proud of. Actually, I think that was one of my better videos on my channel, but I want to make a new one with all the new information that we have. So like Yuji vs Yuta, sorry, Yuta is what I said. Stream stopped? Really? Yeah, I just saw a dip as well. Stream ended for a bit. Yeah, if it ended, just refresh. It's a bit odd. I wonder why I did that. Wait, refresh if it's paused. Yeah, my internet is not the best. It's probably just, it is very, very likely just my internet. Sorry about that. So if it happens, listen, if the stream dies for like 5-10 seconds, like, it's just my internet, just please give it just a bit of time and it'll come back, I promise. Drop the top 10 list. Alright, so we have Sukuna, number 1. This is just my rough idea, so I haven't thought about it too much like in depth. This isn't my official top 10. So Sukuna number 1, Gojo number 2, Yuta. Oh man, Yuta vs Kenjaku. Yuta number 3, Yorozu number 4, Kenjaku number 5. Ooh, wait a minute. I don't know about the rest. Okay, the 6 to 10 is actually where it gets hard. I feel like top 5 for me is solid. The 6 to 10 is going to get a bit hard. Ino better be in top 10. Kenjaku, I disagree. I don't underrate Kenjaku. I just think people are underrating Yorozu. I think that's what's going on. Because I think Kenjaku is very powerful. I think 3 to 5 is close. I think 3 to 5 is actually very close. Like Yuta, Kenjaku, and Yorozu, it would be a high diff if they all fought. Like if each of them fought, that's a very tough fight. So I'm not saying it's like Yuta washes Yorozu or Yorozu washes Kenjaku. I think it's super close between those 3. It's just like a matter of where I rank them. It's the tough part. Alright, we've got enough people in here. You know, it's been 5 minutes, 6 minutes since stream started. We've got like 50 people in here already. Alright, I forgot Kashima doesn't have a domain. Let's start the review. So we got page chapter 1. Chapter 256, page 1. So we have Gojo sitting in this really weird room. Like it looks like it's abandoned or cracked. It's very odd. Like the wall behind him's really destroyed. The walls are cracking. There's no roof. You can see the pipes in the ceiling. And the editor says in the beginning, "Teach us, Gojo Sensei." Gojo says, this is fantastic. I love this so much. Gojo says, "Why can't I unleash a black flash whenever I want? Question mark. Why do you think I could do it in the first place? Because of the 6 eyes?" And then, you know, Gojo, by the way, they were going to get a Black Flash monologue from Gojo. Gojo proceeds to say, "They say that Black Flash is a distortion of space that occurs when cursed energy and a physical strike land within 0.00001 seconds of each other. Personally, I think that definition is a bit lackluster. I mean, if that's the whole secret behind it, then I could land it at will." So it's pretty interesting, right? Is he saying that there's like every sorcerer, when they land a strike, are they always doing it within like perfection, or is it just that there's always a lag, but like it's a matter of decreasing that lag to the absolute infinitesimal point, right? Are we saying every sorcerer has a lag between physical strikes and cursed energy? Like Yuji's Divergent Fist was a couple seconds, that was insane, but maybe like when you master it, the lag is only like 0.1 second, or even like 0.01 seconds. But to actually hit a Black Flash, you need to go to the extreme degree and like reduce the lag to as little as you can. So it's like 0.00001 second. Or is it the fact that, is it the opposite, where sorcerers have no lag and you're supposed to try and artificially create a lag that's infinitesimally small? It's one of those two. It doesn't really matter. Like it's just semantics at this point. But you know, I'd love to know exactly what it was. M60 says, "Love the info on Black Flash." Yeah, it's pretty cool. GEGE really closed the knowledge gaps we had before. It's pretty cool that we get the answers to so many questions we've had for such a long time. Like, you know, can you heal with soul reverse curse technique? All these things. Gojo proceeds to say, if he says that was the only secret, then I could land it at will. But he says, "For instance, if I load my fist with cursed energy and throw a punch," which is a bit interesting because the Leaks translation, which always, you know, trust TCB more than Leaks, but it's just interesting how they said, "When I imbue my fist with my cursed technique," but you know, here it's saying cursed energy. I'm definitely going to trust TCB more than the Leak translations. Like that's for sure. So he says, to just say it again. "For instance, if I load up my fist with my cursed energy and throw a punch, that cursed energy is either 1, the type that will strengthen my fist, 2, the type that will crash into my opponent. 3, the type that will do both, right? And we can even see like there's a diagram of option 1, option 2, and option 3. So Yuji's, if I'm not mistaken, Yuji's used to be number 2, his Divergent Fist, but now it's number 1. So that's kind of the thing he did of Todo. I could be wrong about that, but that's kind of like the way I'm seeing it. Because number 2 is when you crash into your opponent. That's what Yuji used to do. He'd land his punch with his physical might, then the cursed energy would crash into a couple seconds later. But then Todo taught him how to do it like the number 1 type, where you strengthen your fist. So he's kind of hitting them both. Or you could argue Yuji's still doing number 2, but he's just learned to reduce the lag. So he's doing number 1 and number 2, but now the number 2, there's no lag with the fist and the cursed energy crashing out. And there's option 3 where the type that'll do both, which I think is what Yuji's doing, in my opinion. Of course, you know, next page, all that was just page 1, by the way. There's a lot of dialogue, but the rest of the chapters is action. So the moment we finish all of this yapping from Gojo, which is fantastic information, it's just going to be fights. There's not going to be that much dialogue. So second page, it's not just the timing of the hit. Depending on the blend, it's a toss-up, right? So this is what a lot of people have theorized, and it looks like it is true. And it's not like anyone can even control the third type. Well, anyone except me. I think Yuji can as well. That's my personal opinion, because we don't know when this conversation was made. This could have been made before Yuji's even around. It's gonna be, well, actually, considering his clothing, it must have been after JJK 0, but who knows? Who knows? But maybe, I don't know, I'm pretty sure Yuji could do like a combination of it. At least Yuji seems like he's about to master being able to do option 3 anyway. Because Gojo, again, this is in the past. On top of that, the blend needs to change depending on the environment. Things like your physical condition or your opponent's cursed energy. Interesting. Like, that is actually pretty insane that it depends on that. Like, your cursed energy, that at least makes sense. But your own physical condition and your opponent's cursed energy, that is a bit surprising. So maybe it's the fact that you need, at least, so okay, what I'm getting from this, like, it depends on your physical condition, is that you actually need to have taken a lot of damage, or you need to be on the brink of death. Why do we think this? Well, why do I think this? It's because every time we've seen someone use a black flash, usually it's after they've taken a lot of damage. Yuji, every time he uses a black flash, it's always been after he's been like heavily damaged. Same with Nobita. Like, Nobita was simultaneously poisoned, and she physically couldn't move because of the poison and pain, and she used a black flash. Same with Yuji. Yuji was like, when he was against Mahito all those times, he was like, he had taken much damage. He was like deep into the fight, especially at the end of the fight. He was at like 3 or 4% HP. Used the black flash. Even when Gojo used the black flash, it's not like he used it in the beginning of the fight. Gojo was using it deep into the fight after he was like, you know, brain was fried, taking a lot of damage. Like, literally, when his arm was ripped off is when he used a black flash. So when Gojo says it depends on your physical condition, I'm actually, because a lot of people are interpreting it as you need to be in peak condition, I'm interpreting it in the opposite. I'm actually interpreting it as you need to, like, have physically be deep into a fight and have taken a lot of damage so that you can really get into the zone, so your battle spirit can really be flared up. It's something where you can't usually do it when a fight begins. I'm not saying you can't always do it when a fight starts, like when you're at full HP. I'm just saying probably when you're deep into a fight, you've taken a lot of damage, like you're really in the zone, you know, you've got a high bloodlust, high battle spirit. Usually that's when you're more likely to hit a black flash, and at least given every example we've seen, that's usually almost all the time. You know, there's some exceptions. There are some exceptions where the person wasn't that damaged, but at least the majority of the time, it seems like it was like people were very damaged. Was Todo damaged? I'd say that's one of the times when it wasn't the case. Where Todo, he definitely wasn't on the brink of death or too deep into battle, but his battle spirit was flared up with, you know, him not wanting to lose to Yuji. But that's what I mean. It's one of the rare exceptions where Todo wasn't that damaged, but with everyone else we've seen, Yuji's, all of his black flashes actually. Then of course Gojo's, all of his black flashes, Sukuna's black flashes, Nobita's black flash, all those black flashes, usually it's when someone's deep into a battle. Naname's is another exception. That's a bit weird since that's a movie thing. We don't know how involved GEGE was. Like, GEGE could have just said, have Naname hit consecutive black flash in the movie. Maybe, like, we don't actually know, because that's like movie thing. But like, so I'll take that with a grain of salt, that when Naname hit them, because he wasn't injured or in, like, deep into a fight. But again, it's a movie feat. But Yuta, when he is black flash, also a movie feat, so take that with a grain of salt, because he doesn't actually hit in the manga. His also, you know, deep into a fight. Who else hits a black flash? who else has hit Black Flash? No, Megami's never hit one. That's insane. That's insane, by the way. The fact that Megami has never hit one blows my mind. That actually blows my mind. But anyway, he also says it depends on your opponent's cursed energy. Okay, what the hell does that mean? I don't know. I seriously don't know. Like, what does that mean? Depends on your opponent's cursed energy. Like when it's high, when it's low, when it's like in a sudden fluctuation, when the cursed energy isn't flowing right, or maybe when it's really strong. We don't know. Like it's a very vague statement. But I guess that's the point of what Gojo's saying. He says there's so many different factors that go into it. So, you know, physical condition of yourself, your opponent's cursed energy, or even he could be implying, no, he says your physical condition or your opponent's cursed energy. Then he proceeds to say, this might make you laugh, but I personally, so again, this isn't confirmed, this is just what Gojo is personally saying, but he says, I personally think there's some connection with the temperature and humidity. Black Flash is a spatial phenomenon after all. The point is, there's no correct answer as to how a Black Flash is unleashed. So again, even Gojo's emphasizing that's just his opinion, so unlike the other two things, that's not confirmed, the temperature and humidity, and he proceeds to say there is no correct answer, to further emphasize that point. So maybe it's true, but probably not. Like, GEGE is just trying to really hit hard on how much of a control you don't have on it, how unknown hitting a Black Flash is. I think that's the point he's trying to hit, rather than the humidity and temperature being a factor, but it could be, because again, as Gojo says, it is a spatial phenomenon, but I think it's more than that, you know? I think it's more than just that. So he proceeds to say, when I'm really going for it, I incorporate my curse technique into my strengths, ultimately making it come down to luck even for me. I mean, Naname's consecutive Black Flash record is higher than mine. Having said that, if we're talking about the total number, I'm higher. I clean up quick so there's no time to land them consecutively. And then we get like sort of like a little author's note in the bottom. He was later surpassed in this aspect by Yuji Itadori. So what he's saying, obviously consecutively, Naname has the record, but Gojo says the only reason I don't have more consecutive ones is because I've never faced an opponent where I can hit consecutive Black Flashes. Like if I ever hit one Black Flash, the opponent's dead. I'm not gonna have the opportunity to keep hitting more. Then obviously we got Sukuna and Agito and Maharaga, where he did have the opportunity. He just kept spamming them because these are people who could tank it. I mean, so that's why that's the case. But he has hit the total, like, he's got the highest total. Gojo has the highest total. But interesting, quite fascinating that the narrator, which is GEGE, is saying that in the future, Yuji will surpass this. Now, there's two interpretations here. Some people actually thinking that Yuji has already surpassed it, and the narrator is actually referring to the Black Flash that he hits in this chapter, which could be the case, that could be the case, but in my own personal opinion, I actually think this is referring to deeper on in the manga. So maybe next chapter or in a couple chapters, or possibly even just by the time the story ends, Yuji will break it by that point. Maybe foreshadowing that Yuji is about to go on a Black Flash rampage, and the first Black Flash that we saw at the end of this chapter is a sign of more Black Flashes to come. And the reason I believe that is not just because of the narrative statement here, but also the fact that we got this extended 2 pages of detailed explanation of Black Flashes, and the point of these 2 pages is to say that nobody can land them at will. Nobody has the ability to control that will. This is something not even Gojo and not even Sukuna can do, you know? But nobody, it's kind of foreshadowing that Yuji is going to be the one to do it. It's really hitting hard the point that nobody's done this before, so that when Yuji does it, we can see how special and amazing it is when he does it, and how crazy of a feat it's going to be. I think that's the point of him explaining in depth why you can't do it at will. So when, again, Yuji does it, it's going to be crazy. And again, narrator's statement, maybe he was just referring to the one Black Flash we got here, but maybe it is foreshadowing of what's to come. With many Black Flashes, that's going to be crazy. So Zizu in the chat says, that note means Sukuna is in for a wild beating. You are not wrong. You are not wrong. And there's a lot of theories I have. You know, we actually talked about this last stream when Loud Gaming, he gave a really good donation in the chat. He said how the Black Flashes are actually going to make it weaken Megami and Sukuna's control over Megami more, for a really good reason, which I'll get into that when we get to the Black Flash part. For now, I'll just continue reading the chapter. So page 3. I love this page, by the way. So we have a beautiful page right here of Sukuna. He's got the menacing cursed energy aura, which we've seen many times around him, and we have 4 dialogue boxes of 4 different characters all around him, all thinking different things at this time. Maki thinks, including the one he landed on me, that's his second Black Flash. The guy that just got slammed, and the other one must be the potential backup Yuta was talking about. So Yuta must have went to Africa, asked them for help, and he never got confirmation if they'll actually help, but he told everyone, maybe after I lose we may get some backup. So that's what Maki's saying, so he told Maki at least, but it seemed like he didn't tell Yuji and Choso, as we'll see later on. Then we see a picture of Miguel. And Miguel is no longer smiling or laughing. Interesting how Miguel doesn't have a sweat drop. Nobody has a sweat drop, so it doesn't mean they're not nervous, but I guess maybe they're really into the fight. But Miguel, he looks concerned, is what I'll say. We can't see his eyes, but he does look concerned. And he says, or he thinks, sorry, this ain't good. He's gonna start gaining momentum. We gotta get the hell out of here. And I'll just tell you this now, he does not fight after this. He literally is not in the fight at all. I mean, he'll help LaRue get up, but he doesn't actually fight Sukuna himself, which is insane. I don't blame him, but come on, Miguel. You're already here. I can't say don't be a coward because you're risking your life, but don't be a coward, please. Anyway, then we have Yuji on the bottom right. He must have regained his reverse curse technique output just like Gojo Sensei did. He says he must have, so he isn't sure, but that's what he's thinking. It's just his thought. We don't know either. Who are those two guys anyway? Again, Yuta apparently only told Maki, so fair enough, don't know why he didn't tell anyone. There was a lot of bullshit going on in the time skip. Choso and Inumaki not telling anyone else in the main cast that Sukuna has an open domain, and especially not Gojo, the guy who's about to fight Sukuna, and they didn't tell anyone that Kenjaku has an open domain. It would have been great to tell Yuta that, because Yuta, we didn't know that the Taka plan was going to succeed. For all we know, Taka could have gotten washed, and Yuta would have had to face Kenjaku. In an actual fight, it would have been great, Choso, had you told Yuta during the time skip that Kenjaku has an open domain, so you could prepare for it. There's a lot of miscommunication happening, a lot of misinput, as Charlie would say, happening over the time skip, which is insane. You had 1.5 months, and they were training together, and we even see that picture of Choso, Yuji, Gojo, and Hakari hanging out. What the hell, tell him while you guys are hanging out and training together. And Yuta was training specifically with Yuji as well, Richie. Tell them that potentially backup may come. Yuji and Choso, tell them that Sukuna's an open domain. This is incredible. This is just, I can only, it's just the height of stupidity. So many mistakes were made over this time skip. It's just remarkable. I cannot explain how, bafflingly dumb this was. But, it is what it is. These guys, they're getting what they deserve with, everybody dying. And it could have been worse. That's the worst part. If Sukuna never lost his domain, or if Kenjaku beat Taka, they would have been cooked beyond belief. So, it's just moronic. I don't know what to say. It is what it is. There's no excuses for it. The fact that Yuji, I'm just going to continue. The fact that Yuji, this is Choso thinking this, the fact that Yuji and the others aren't saying anything must mean that those two are allies of Jujutsu High. I have to help and put Sukuna in the dirt before he regains his reverse curse technique output. So it seems pretty interesting. So Yuji says he might have regained his reverse curse technique output, but Choso says before he gets his reverse curse technique output. So, it's definitely up in the air on if he's got it. It seems like he hasn't, but he's on the verge of getting it with all these Black Flashes. And it's pretty funny. Choso's oh, Yuji hasn't said anything, so Yuji must be aware, and Yuji must know that these two are allies of Jujutsu High, but in Yuji's mind, he's got no clue. He's literally thinking, who the hell are these two guys anyway? It's pretty funny. Again, the lack of communication is laughable. It's laughably bad that you've had this long to prepare and nobody has told anyone shit. Continuing though, okay, so there's going to be a lot of fighting here. Choso kicks, so he's got railings in front of him. He kicks it up in the air. He kicks it towards Yuji. As Maki goes to hit Sukuna, Sukuna blocks it with his calf hand. I guess he's using mini dismantles. Yuji grabs the railings that Choso kicked at him. And Sukuna, as we see, is dodging multiple kind of fencing cuts from Maki. And Choso jumps up as Yuji traps Sukuna with the railings, and he fires a piercing blood, but Sukuna, with phenomenal speed, remarkable speed, actually dodges it. He goes underneath the railings and dodges it all. Maki is hiding in a building. She comes in and tries to stab Sukuna right in the gut, and she's actually smiling. If you look closely, she is smiling as Sukuna grabs it with his bare hand. And there's a lot of clashes here. We just see clashes around Maki. And then next page is pretty incredible. We're going at rapid pace, right? It's just fighting. Maki and Sukuna are actually fighting in the sky. So we've seen Sukuna can do this against Yorozu. A lot of people actually forgot, but yes, Sukuna, I'll actually show this page, because I can show this because it's an older chapter, so I'm less likely to get copyright, it's less bad. Let me actually get the page here. I posted it on Twitter, so I can show that. Yeah, because Sukuna has done this. He has already done this against Yorozu, so I don't know how Sukuna has learned this ability to walk on the air, which Maki can only do because she's able to see things that other people can't see. It's literally just Skywalk from One Piece. He must have learnt it in the Heian Era somehow. Maybe there was someone in the Heian Era that could do this, or maybe Sukuna really just self-taught himself this, because again, Sukuna is someone who can copy things after he's seen it once, so I wouldn't be surprised if he just copied it after he'd seen it from Maki. But the thing is that he'd already done this before he had seen Awakened Maki. He'd already done that before then. So, I mean, you could argue he'd fought Maki, so maybe that's why he was, because he fought Awakened Maki before he fought Yorozu, so he's kind of like, maybe got the principles there, and that's how he's able to do it. Let me actually get it here. So I'll just share my screen actually while I do this. Actually, I don't want to get copyrighted, so let me scroll up. Alright, and I'll actually show a page. I'll show this section of it here. And by the way, hey, if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like. Shout out Hobby Horse for mentioning it as well. Shout out Hobby Horse, I much appreciate it. It does help the stream out, if you do leave a like, it pushes out to more people. So thank you very much if you do. Thank you, and shout out Hobby Horse, it's much appreciated. But let me show my screen. Let me show my screen real quick. Big monitor. Here we go. This is what I see, at least on this monitor. Here we go. I'll move OBS here. So this is Sukuna as he's about to land a black flash. If I'm not mistaken on Maki, I'll double check and read it. Pretty menacing. I'll at least be able to show this. Hopefully this doesn't get me strike, but it is what it is. Here we go. So actually, Mr. 60, who's in the chat right now. I mean, he was here earlier on. Let me check if he's still there. Let me check the chat. Wait a minute. Mr. 60, are you here? If you're here, send a message. I mean, he was here earlier on. Yeah, he said before, like, there's some tomfoolery. So, shout out. Yeah, you see Mr. 60 cameo. I'm telling you, it's really cool when I see people, like, you guys in the chat, when I see guys on Twitter. It's pretty awesome. At least when you have the same name, I can recognize you. So, he says, can we talk about how Sukuna jumped on air like Maki? And then, obviously, here we go. I'm sure this is the panel that I want to show. I didn't get how he learned how to do it, but he's always been able to do it. So we see him literally against Yorozu skywalk onto the air, which is what he's doing. I'm not going to go on TCB, I don't want to get a copyright strike now, but it's what he's doing here. So, pretty cool. I don't know how he learned how to do this. Again, maybe he saw Maki do it when he fought Maki against Yuji, and now he's, I don't know, I guess like mimicked the concepts, or maybe he's always been able to do it, and it's just something he knew from the Heian Era. I mean, it's like his special walking on air, ancient Heian Era technique that he saved just for this moment, just like he would say. Kaio sounds like one of those guys that's constantly got a blocked nose. I always think that as well when I watch my streams again. It's a bit different. For some reason I sound like that on stream, but in videos, I don't. Sometimes in videos I do. But I think it's just usually the voice I have. I think it's actually due to something else as well, which I'm not going to talk about, but I think I know the reason why. But I actually get you. Sometimes I think the same as well when I watch the thing back. It's like, interesting. Okay. Heian Era heavily restriction. Yes. Yeah, maybe it's that. But anyway. So him and Maki are fighting on the air, and Choso's like, it's a really cool panel, by the way. And Choso's like, what's with that movement? They're using the air itself as footing, question mark, exclamation mark, so pretty cool. And then Sukuna, obviously, the panel I just showed you is what he just does against Maki. And then, black flash. He hits Maki with a clean black flash. And Maki's, okay, I don't want to say she's fine, like maybe internally her organs are screaming for dear life, so we don't actually know how she's doing. But regardless, she eats it and she's conscious, and she's actually like, I mean, she seems injured, like she's swaying, she seems hurt, and then she's thinking his third one, so she didn't pass out from it at least, and then she gets cut in the guts by multiple slashes, and there's a lot of blood, by the way. We can see in the next panel, blood is flying all over the place, and we even see in the panel that she's cut, like blood is sparking everywhere, and she thinks the output of his base slashes is increasing too, so yes, Sukuna's slashes are getting stronger, his output is returning. And then we see Sukuna, so when he actually hit Maki with a slash, it wasn't the world-ending slash, so he doesn't have both his arms, but he did do the hand signs to boost the strength of the slash. So it's something he actually did against Yuta and Yuji as well, and he's done against Maharaga, so, he did it many times against Yuji and Yuta. And we see as Sukuna does this, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As far as we can see, 6, maybe more behind him. Supernovas all behind him, and it's sort of like a bomb that goes off. You know, Choso just fires supernova, and then 2 slashes fly out at Choso, and somehow Choso's able to see it because he moved faster than the slashes got me. And then so he sees the slashes, but Sukuna again moving faster than his own slashes, which is incredible. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's actually done this against Mahoraga, so it's not new. I think he's done this against Mahoraga before, but the fact that he's able to do it while he's this nerfed and this injured, with his slashes now being stronger, is pretty incredible. You know, Sukuna is a beast. You know, I guess nothing new there. And then, yeah, he grabs Choso. So, by the way, he's kind of making sure that what happened to LaRue and Maki doesn't happen here. Because when he Black Flashed them, they got sent packing. They got sent back. But what he's about to do to Choso when he Black Flashes him, he's actually setting it up so his Black Flash hits way harder and he doesn't get sent packing. It's very genius by Sukuna. So he throws him against a wall and he Black Flashes him now. The reason he threw him against this wall is just like I said before, so he doesn't go flying back and he can hit him with his full might of the Black Flash. So this was, not only is this Black Flash way stronger than the one that hit LaRue and the one that hit Maki, because this is the 4th Black Flash, so his output has been increasing much more after he hit those previous 2, so this is way stronger than those 2. But he's also thrown him up against a wall, so it's going to hit him at full force. He doesn't get sent flying back. He's forced to eat that punch and it's forced to go through him. So again, yes, throws him against the wall, Black Flash, and Choso bleeding heavily out of his mouth, but he's smiling. He's got a really awesome grin. He's got a very cool smile as he grabs Sukuna's hand and he's actually encased it in blood. So to reduce the damage that he's taken and to reduce the damage of Sukuna's own Black Flash. And Sukuna's surprised, like he's shocked. He reduced the damage by making armor from his blood, and Sukuna gets socked in the face. So now his output is starting to get enough. So this is the first hit that Yuji's done this chapter. He did put him in the railings, but didn't actually hit him this chapter. Now with that one punch, Sukuna's output is starting to get lowered. And so it's a pretty nasty punch. Like Sukuna actually moves back, he bleeds from it, and he goes flying back quite a decent amount. And then Choso says that's right. No matter how fired up he gets through his Black Flashes, Yuji's blows will keep weakening his cursed energy output and his control of the body. And he says, do it, Yuji, as he gives him something into Yuji's hand. Right, so we talked about this in the previous stream, how he actually gave Yuji some blood for Yuji to use for conversions. Because Yuji, it's better than Yuji using blood out of his own body because he would permanently lose that blood. Though he does have reverse curse technique, so he could heal it, but it's just to save cursed energy. But also, it seems like Choso is able to, I guess, build up the pressure of the blood in the hand that he just gave to Yuji, so it's easier for Yuji to use convergence. Maybe that's because we'll see later on what he says. LaRue is conscious. Somehow LaRue is conscious, but clearly so beaten up that they can't even walk by themselves. They need Miguel to actually help them out, and their stomach is destroyed and they are bleeding heavily out of the mouth. They seem that they're about to pass out. So it did a lot of damage, but the only reason LaRue didn't get split in half is because this Sukuna is so nerfed. I guarantee you, if this was a prime Sukuna with no nerfs, full HP, full curse energy, it would have just killed LaRue, not even a question. But makes sense, Sukuna's got 50 trillion nerfs, that's why it didn't kill LaRue. But LaRue is still on the brink of death, on the verge of passing out. Miguel, Miguel is we've done enough. LaRue we're retreating, which, I don't know, man, he didn't do that much. He didn't do that much at all. He stole him for a tiny bit and you're running away. I mean, dude, you're gonna die. If Sukuna wins, you're gonna die. I don't know what the point of running away now is, because I don't know, this is ridiculous, but it doesn't matter, whatever he wants, man. But LaRue says, Miguel-chan, no, there's still more I can do. And we see Yuji and Sukuna continuing their fight, it's destroying the environment around them. So Yuji eats a punch to his gut that actually makes him bleed, and simultaneously, Yuji actually lands a kick onto Sukuna while grabbing his head, so they simultaneously land blows on each other, which is awesome. This panel is so cool, I can't lie. And then Sukuna grabs Yuji by the collar, and again, they're about to simultaneously do damage to each other. It's really cool how they're basically not caring about taking damage, and they're just trading blows simultaneously back and forth. So Sukuna rips apart his stomach somehow with his punch. Yuji lands a blow on him, as I just said before. He grabs him by the collar and he's about to do a clear and dismantle. But Yuji actually wraps his leg around Sukuna just like Gojo did, but he's not able to wrap it all the way around because true form Sukuna is fucking massive. He is huge, by the way. If you've actually measured him, he's huge. Anyway, he does a point-blank piercing blood using the blood that Choso gave him. So see here, Choso thinks Yuji can't use convergence effectively, which is why I need to keep looking after him. By the way, this truly moved me. Like I cannot tell you how like hyped I was when I saw this from Choso. Like again, my favorite character in JJK, absolutely love him. Like Goid, big brother, like best big brother, best character in the series, to be honest. Looking after Yuji, it moved me. Like this truly moved me. I love Choso so much. Like which is why I need to keep looking after him. Goat material. But anyway, Yuji fires a point-blank piercing blood at Sukuna that rips apart his cheek as Sukuna simultaneously lands a point-blank dismantle or a cleave on Yuji. So again, trading blows back and forth, and you can see the trail of blood coming from Yuji's, almost like his, it's not his shoulder, but it's not his neck, it's like in between the areas where it's cut. And Yuji like flies back, you can see the blood is dripping back, but he is in the zone as he gets ready for a black flash, very similar to how he looked with Mahito, and you can see his eyes are very, very intense. So he's got the swirly eyes, he's getting ready, and Sukuna doesn't even look amused. Like, so you can see that at this moment, the narrator's saying, sorry, at this moment, just as Mahito sensed from Itadori Yuji in Shibuya, Sukuna felt the same premonition of an oncoming black flash. So even though he senses the black flash coming, he doesn't even care. He looks like he has the most bored expression in the world. Like, okay, just the black flash is coming, which is going to bite him in the ass. However, and then Sukuna's got the hot eyes. People went crazy with the fan art here, which is pretty funny to see Sukuna with hot eyes. It's really weird, but in a cool way. I love seeing it. And Sukuna says, "What? My eyes are glued to that sorcerer." Because, you know, like, I guess like LaRue's curse technique, which can grasp things, he's grasping Sukuna's heart, as we'll see here. Sukuna thinks my awareness shifted from the brat. And LaRue says, as he's got his arm out, "It isn't just bodies that I can clutch with my heart catch. Once I've got a hold of someone, I can even seize their heart." So he's somehow forcibly taken Sukuna's attention. And LaRue calls this QE honey, and the translation note says can also be read as looky here, which is, you know, both of them make sense. QE honey fits with LaRue's theme, but also looky here because you're literally taking away the attention of the person that you've, you know, grasped the heart of. And as we see Sukuna again, all four of his eyes have the heart, you know, heart symbol, like massive heart eyes, which is hilarious to see Sukuna like that, especially the four bigger eyes. And he just can't help it. Like, he can't help but look at LaRue as he gets hit by a massive black flash, like a huge black flash. It was just massive. And this black flash is bigger than any black flash we've seen in the entire series. It's bigger than Sukuna's, any of the ones Sukuna's hit, and it's bigger than any of the ones Gojo's hit. This could mean nothing. Like, again, it could just be a stylistic choice from GEGE that he really wants to emphasize, like it's a strong black flash, or he just wants to make it look cooler because it's Yuji. But it could imply that his black flashes are stronger than other people's. Like, whichever interpretation you want to go with, that's your choice. You know, if it's stronger or if it's just like an art choice to make it look cooler for Yuji, and it doesn't mean it's stronger, you know, that's your choice. But he hits the black flash, it looks incredible, and the final page, here we go, this is where people lose it. Unleashing his potential with a single blow, which we've seen him do before in Goodwill, but he's never done it while he's had the Sukuna Ghost energy and while he's had blood manipulation. So he's unleashing that inner potential now and making them stronger. So again, continue. The narrator says, unleashing his potential with a single blow, beneath scattering sparks of black. And then finally, Itadori Yuji awakens as we get a close-up on his eyes, and his eyes are like this the entire chapter. It is like swirling. It is swirling heavily. It looks similar to how Sukuna's did when he took over Yuji's body, but now that I get a closer look on it, I'm starting to think it actually just looks like, because we've seen his eyes look like this before. I'm actually thinking it's just like him being intense, so maybe it's not an omen of him getting Sukuna's curse technique. Maybe it would be cool if it was, but you know, let's not get too excited for that. But it did say Yuji awaken, and it says Itadori Yuji awakens as he like unleashes it in a potential as it focuses on his eyes, so maybe he's referring to him becoming more like Sukuna, that's why it's focusing on the eyes. We don't know, but the editor says at the end of the chapter, even the rays of hope shine black, which is a bar. Like, that is a bar. And a break next week, it is what it is. Chapter 256 end. Damn, what a great chapter. I have reread this chapter so many times when it came out last night. I reread it like 5-6 times. It was incredible, and I reread it again a couple times today. And of course, I read it in depth with you all here. Incredible stuff. Like, again, all the people complaining, crying, this, that, and the other. Yeah, I told you guys. It's peak fiction. You know, just give it some time. The weekly effect, It's just the weekly effect, because again, all those chapters that people are complaining, like, this is boring, this is Sukuna Kaisen, JJK fell off, GEGE can't write, like, you all say that because of the weekly effect, but now that, like, it's complete, and now when someone actually reads, or even if you reread it now, like, if you reread JJK, or if someone new is reading it for the first time, all those Sukuna chapters, like, they'll be able to read through it in, like, 10 minutes, 5 minutes. So what was boring week to week, because at least I didn't find it boring, but people are saying it's boring, it was only boring because it was week to week. We had to go through chapter by chapter of this. But now that it's complete, it's not, like, all the criticism and concerns everyone's had, it's not going to be an issue. It's only an issue week to week. And it's going to be incredible when you actually read this all in one go. You know, you're just reading so many chapters of Sukuna, like, going on a rampage. You just speed reading through it because obviously it's just fighting. And then you boom, like, Yuji just suddenly awakens. It's going to be an amazing feeling. Like, I definitely will see people, just like they've done of the, like, because people, again, in case you guys aren't aware, I've been reading since chapter 1 came out. People did not like the Mahito versus Yuji fight when it's happening week to week. The fan base is actually like 50-50 on it. A lot of people are actually saying it was boring, they wanted it to be done with. Like, people really didn't like that fight week to week. But now that the fight is done, like, you're all aware, people think of that as like one of the best fights in Shonen, the best fight in JJK, and the reason they think of that is because now that the week to week effect is done, and you can read it all in one go quickly, people love it. Like, the only issue people have with these chapters is week to week. Same thing happened with Kinji Ikari versus Akashima. I'm sure many of you who were reading at the time remember a lot of people were saying it was repetitive, it was boring, Ikari just, like, punch kicks, like, the fight it's just domain spam. People really didn't like that fight week to week. Now people look back at it as one of the best fights in the series. Sakurajima that whole colony got a lot of hate when it was happening week to week. Now people look back on it very fondly and they like it a lot. Same with Megumi versus Reggie. People really hate that fight. You all know people hate Takaba versus Kenjaku. Now people look on it more fondly. And even Gojo vs Sukuna was getting called a domain expansion spam fest in the first half, and people were really hating on it. Of course, GEGE addressed those concerns in the same fight, but it just goes to show you that week to week, people always complain and cry and whine and think it's boring because it's week to week. But now that it's complete, you know, a lot of people as time will go on, and you'll see this. Like, you can quote this in a couple months from now or a year from now. Quote this from me. People are gonna love those chapters of Sukuna, like cooking everyone and then Yuji awakening, because now you can just read it all in one go. Like, the whole boring, repetitive issues is gonna go away. It happened time and time again in the sort of fan base. I am someone who has witnessed it over and over. I've addressed it in the Sakurajima videos I did. I addressed it so many times. Like, I've addressed it during the Gojo vs Sukuna fight. I addressed it during the Takao vs Kenjaku fight. And I'm addressing it now again. Like, people, it's like a never-ending cycle of this fanbase where they say it's boring week to week, but then once it's not, like, once it's done, people actually look back on it in a very fond way. I truly do believe it's going to be the same with Sukuna Kaisen, and it already seems to be that way. Everyone already saying, like, it's peak fiction. GEGE is like, he can cook. JJK is awesome. Like, yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, people are switched up. It happens. Like, it's happened a trillion times. It's going to happen again and again. Yorozu hate week to week. Yorozu's is a bit different though. People don't like the Yorozu fight more so because of what it did, like, narratively what it did to Tsumiki's character. That's why people don't like, because people had so many expectations for Tsumiki from the get-go, and the fact that it never went anywhere and Tsumiki died, that's why people hate that fight. That's more of a different reason. Because the reason people, like, all the other fights I just told you, people don't like those fights because it's boring, repetitive, yada yada yada. Like, people are crying and whining saying GEGE, like, fell off. People don't like the Yorozu fight for a completely different reason than any of these fights before. It's not because it's boring or repetitive. People don't like the Yorozu fight because of what? Because of Tsumiki. It's a narrative reason. Personally, I love the Yorozu fight. It's one of my favorite fights in all of JJK. I do wish it would have gone differently, but you have to realize that is a different reason for every other fight that I mentioned before. Like, that's a narrative reason that will never change, and if anything, will actually worsen with time. That's a very unique case. By the way, we have 281 votes. Let's see if we can just get it to 300 before I end the votes on the poll. So I guess if there's like 20 people in here who haven't voted, 90 people, go ahead and vote, please. What are your thoughts on the chapter rating? We had 67% of people thought this was a 10 or 9 out of 10. It was peak fiction greatness, very high. We had 30% of people think it was just a very good chapter, 8 to 10. 3%, only 3% said it was a good or okay chapter, and whoever that 1% is, you got to be trolling. 1% of people here said, it was below 5, it was a bad chapter. So someone's probably trolling. Yeah, because this was peak fiction. This was peak fiction. I mean, at the very least, I gotta say it's an okay chapter. I thought it was at least a good chapter. I thought it was great, but yeah, most people tend to agree. 66% think it was peak fiction or great, and then 30% of people think it was very good. So what that means is that at least, wow, 96% of people thought it was at least very good or peak fiction. 96% of people here. So overall, it seemed like people really liked this fight. You know, only 1% of people thought it was bad. Chapter wasn't long enough, not long enough for a rating. It was just like a per chapter rating. You know, what you thought of the chapter. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, you know, what your thoughts were on it. Man, it was good. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very hungry as well. Again, like fasting. Shout out everyone who's fasting for Ramadan. Yeah, I am hungry, man. Ah, damn. I can't break it. I got 2 more hours left. So, you know, it is what it is. I like this one a bit more, but this was truly awesome. I thought it was incredible. Again, big Yuji fan. It's no secret. I've made so many Yuji videos. I love Yuji to death. I used to mock him a lot like a year ago. You know there's inside jokes on my channel. Like Plot G, this, that, and the other G. Just as jokes, but even, I can stop doing that. I stopped doing that for like, I think 7-8 months. I just really grown to appreciate Yuji, man. He's just awesome. He is special. I mean, I've always thought he was awesome. He was always a top 5 character for me, but just in particular, you know, just as we're getting closer to the end of the series, just really love Yuji. He's just the GOAT, man. Just the GOAT. Where's Ino at the GOAT? Ino is bringing Gojo back. You know, if you saw my previous video, you know, he's resurrecting Gojo from the brink of death. I'll touch upon Ino. He's going to be a big highlight and big talking point in my next video. So be on the lookout for that, because the next one is a Sukuna Yuji video. You know, so we'll see about. Also, if you're a channel member, because I see some members here haven't commented as well, like how to pronounce. You're a member, Adam. You're a member as well. On the recent members community posts, you know, if you let me know your thoughts or what you think is going to happen with like Sukuna's full power, or how the Sukuna vs Yuji fight is going to go, I'll include some of the replies to that community post in the next video as well. So if you haven't already, just in case some members missed it, be sure to do that. Ino saving the world on the wrong side. Ino's going to clutch it, man. He is going to clutch it. I think Ino is getting healed up back at base because we saw Sukuna. Again, we saw him cut his hand off, maybe. And you know, okay, I'm not going to say he didn't, but I'm going to give you some evidence on why I think it's possible that Ino still has his hand. Let me show this here. So I'll kind of like, I hope I don't get copyright for this, but you know, it is what I'll show it for a brief moment. Big monitor. Sometimes GEGE just doesn't draw a hand, like as right here. You can see Choso is missing, but he was like, it's just not drawn. And he's done that before. I think the time with Ino, so I'll hide that so you can see. Now I'll bring up the Ino part so you guys can see what I'm talking about. It's possible his hand was cut because we see blood coming from the area. It's possible, but it's possible that his hand wasn't cut and GEGE just isn't drawn yet. Because the issue is like the panel is so small and it's so far away, GEGE, like the detail may have just not been drawn, or it may just not be visible properly. Is like, you know, it's a bit tough to say. Again, maybe he did lose his hand, and we'll see that next chapter, but I'll bring up the Ino panel now. Even regardless, if they could just get to him in time, like they could pick up the hand and quickly teleport him out as soon as it's a fresh cut, they can very likely heal that. Like they couldn't heal Ohana's arm, but hand, sorry, no, arm, an actual arm, but this is like a fresh wound, and he still got the hand, so maybe they can heal it that way. So the Ino one was 253, I'm pretty sure. Let me check. 253. Let's see. Is Sukuna find a way to talk to shit to Yuji after this? Probably, man. The guy hates Yuji for like a plethora of reasons. I mean, GEGE's even said in a supplementary material that his favorite like pastime is just hating on it. Let's see here. Here we go. Okay, I'll show you. You can let me know if I'm coping or if you think I'm right. Because again, remember the Choso panel I just showed you where it didn't show his hand? Big monitor. Alright, look at this. Actually, I'll make it full screen. Oh, let's not do that. Here we go. So you can see here, there's blood coming from it, and you can't see his hand. Again, maybe he lost it, but I think it's possible that he didn't. We don't see a hand flying out with him. And again, it's like his foot here. It's not like he lost his foot. I just don't think it's drawn all the way. Like maybe it's just hidden. Maybe like his hand is like backwards and his clothing is hiding it. Maybe I'm coping. It's just the fact that it's so unclear. I don't want to say it's definite that I wouldn't be surprised. He probably loses his hand, but I don't want to say it's confirmed. You know? Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Who knows? And then of course we have Kusakabe the goat. This is a cute panel of Sukuna, but this is a very cute, you know, little chibi panel. Just him chilling in the elevator, you know. Well, not elevator, but that like one floor of the thing. And we can even see the panel where he got cut last time, so we go here. It's just because, like, look, his hand was still attached as he got cut. Maybe it was flown off, but we don't see the hand fly off. As he gets cut here, it's still attached. Then he gets kicked. There's no hand flying off anywhere. Sukuna, like, dude, look at this guy, menace, as he like smiling as he kicks him. And then, of course, next page, no hand anywhere. There's no hand. I would imagine the hand like would be visible. You will see. That's all I'll say. We'll see what's the deal with that. Let's go back here. And do we have 300 votes? Yes, we do. We have 310 votes actually. So I'll end the poll for the chapter rating. Damn. So again, we got 67. Damn. Plus thingy. That is 90. Oh, it's still 96. It's still 97. 6% of people think it was like either very good or amazing chapter, which is good to see. It was a fantastic chapter. Kari is prolonging his fight on purpose so he doesn't have to fight Sukuna. Wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I don't even think he's prolonging on purpose. I just think he can't beat Urume. I think Urume is going to win this, man. Is there a narrative reason for Urume to win? Yes, actually. Oh, wait a minute, there is. I don't know, man. Urume, that's my GOAT. I just want to see Urume win. I really like Urume. Again, in my top 5 favorite characters. Actually, let me know, by the way, who your top 5 favorites are in order. My top 5 favorites, though. Choso number 1, obviously. Oof. Number 2 is Yorozu. Number 3 is Kashimo. Number 4 is Urume, and number 5 is Yuji. That's my top 5. Top 5 in that order. The top 5 favorites. There's been some change-ups. Geto used to be there a year ago, but he's fallen out of grace. Who else? Yeah, Higurume used to be there. I still love Higurume. Higurume is like number 6. Yuta's number 7. It is what it is, like Higurume. I love him so much, but it's just I've really stopped liking other characters. It is what it is. Gege Cook, yeah, fantastic champ. Good to see you, Randall the Vandal. You know, I see you on Twitter all the time. I think your name is your name is on Twitter isn't Randall the Vandal, but you've got the same profile picture, so that's how I can recognize it's you. So yeah, it is what it is. Appreciate you seeing that. So let's see some lists. So Carrot for Straw Hat. Love that name, by the way. Carrot should have been Straw Hat member. Greatest fumble by Oda. Actually, bigger fumble is not letting Yamato. That's just 2 fumbles. Yuji, he says Yuji number 1, Sukuna number 2, Choso number 3, Gojo number 4, and Maki number 5. Good list. Ino Glazer says Ino number 1, Gojo number 2, Hakari number 3, Yorozu number 4, Higurume number 5. Just because you got Yorozu in your top 5, already one of my favorite lists, man. Fantastic. Zizu says Sukuna, Maki, Urume, Gojo, Yorozu. Also a great list. I love to see some Yorozu fans in here. By the way, again, I actually commissioned these 2 pieces of art. I'll actually show them on the screen. I commissioned these, I think, like 8-9 months ago. Let me show these emotes. Wait a minute. Let's go to. I'll show my screen so you guys can see it. Actually, before I do, let me go to the emotes. Channel emotes. Where is big monitor? All right, here we go. Hopefully it shows. Yo, what is up? Pink Pistus? I don't know how to say the name. What is up, though? What is up? Sukuna, Gojo, Maki, Yuji. No, that's a pretty good list. I like that. Kenjaku in the top 5. Interesting to see. Yuta number 1 from Zebek. Williams got Toji in your top 5. Oh, for shame. The moment Toji's in your top 5 is one of the worst top 5s ever. Alright. So let me check this art of Megami. Here we go. So I've got Megami art, by the way. Actually, let me get this up here. So we have Megami art, and we have Yorozu one as well. So let me get the Yorozu one too. This is months ago. This isn't new. This is like months ago. Where is Yuji? All right, here we go. Yorozu. All right. The issue is to actually be able to get it. I'm literally limited by the number of members. All right. Please, Yorozu, I need you. I might actually, this is what I wanted to ask though. I was actually thinking of swapping out 2 of the emotes that we have for the Megami and Yorozu one. So, even if you're not a member, just let me know. Which of the 2 emotes do you think I should like swap out of the ones we have? Because I want to keep like the Gojo one, the Miwa one, the Yuta one, the Yuji one, and Kashima one. I feel like the Memi one's never used. The Mei one is like never used. I might swap the Mei out for Yorozu or something. But I want to put the Megami one in there as well. So, again, you don't even have to be a member. You can just let me know your thoughts, like which emoji or emote you think wouldn't be used. Because like to actually add more, I'd need 50 to add another one, and then I need like 60 to add the next one, which we're not getting any time. Let's keep it a stack. We're not getting any time soon. So I'm just going to swap them out. No thoughts, no comments from anyone. It is a swap Yuji. Really, Yuji? No, we gotta keep one Yuji though. You know what I mean? We gotta keep one Yuji, and the Yuji one's used pretty often. Like people actually use it. The thing is, like, unfortunately, I love it. By the way, the Yuki one is one of my favorites, but it's never used ever. Same with Mei. Mei is just never used. Mei is cool, but she's not really that cool. Like, it's not a bad emote. I guess people just don't. And there's a lot of heart ones already. Like, if people were to use heart emojis, they'd usually use the Yuta one or the Yuki one, not the Mei one. The Yorozu one's pretty awesome, like hyped up, fired up. So maybe Yorozu, who knows? Swap out the Happy Miwa one and leave the useless. But that's the thing though, the Happy Miwa one is used so much. It's used like very often by people. At least when people do use emotes. I mean, I'll think about it, but for now, like, Mei, if you do, like, let me know your thoughts. I'm interested in getting your thoughts. Toji, I'm never getting a Toji emote, by the way. Congratulations. Until the day I die, I will never add one. I'll add a Maki emote for Toji. A Maki awesome, actually. Why would I do that? I appreciate subscribing. I just missed your name. Let me actually check. Wait a minute. Ask Reddit. What type of a name is that? Why would you have that name? I appreciate subscribing anyway. I think it depends on the emotion you want to use. And that's the point of the Mei one. Like, there's already so many hot ones, you know. So I guess people will never use the Mei one. I'll probably like switch it out for Yorozu. I should really want to add the Yorozu one at this point. It's been like almost a year. Let me turn the big monitor off then. Go back to Sukuna looking fine in the background. Man, I miss Sukuna in that body as well. Like, Sukuna looks awesome in his true form, and Megami's body is okay. But I really think his, like, actually, let me make a poll on this. I really think Sukuna was like the best and most menacing in Yuji's body. I might be in the minority. I think people actually prefer his true form. Not that his true form isn't awesome, but you know, I just think he looks like the best in Yuji's body, because like the contrast between Yuji being a happy, cheerful person, and Yuji just not being in character for Yuji to be like evil. It's why like Megami, Sukuna and Megami's body wasn't that crazy, because yeah, Sukuna sometimes has like a blank expression, like not. He's a kind of a chill face. Megami's already like that. Megami, it's not that crazy. I think that's the one I like the least. Not that it looks bad, but you know what I mean. Which Sukuna form do you like the most? True form Sukuna. Meguna, as I say it? Meguna. And man, I just want to. Damn it, because I've been awake for a long time. Alright, man. Yuji Kuna. Is there any other forms? It would have been awesome to see Sukuna Nobita's body. See how that would look. Like Nobita those tattoos. I want Sukuna to grow wings. That would be pretty great. Like, crazy if that happened. Alright, but back to the chapter, by the way. Since this is my full review, I guess I already broke it down. That was the point of it. But I will touch upon it some more as well while we're here. Let me go back to it. What is up with Yuji's awakening? Oh my goodness. So let me know as well. Let me know right now, what do you think this awakening is? Let me know every single possible idea you have. I'm about to show you a list. I made a list on Twitter of every possibility it could be, but I'm curious to see which one you guys think it could be or want it to be, and why as well. Personally, you know me. I want it to be the Cleaveness Mantle, like, and Flames would be the best, but I don't think it's gonna be that. I don't think it. Most likely it's not. Like, would GEGE do something that raw? Would he? Probably not. Let me show my monitor. Big monitor here, and I'll zoom in too. So, boom, zoom in some more. Here we go. All right. All possibility of what Yuji has awakened means. I posted it in the community tab in case you didn't see it, so I'll show it here as well. Yuji can use Black Flash well. Of course, this makes sense given what I explained when I was doing the review. it would make sense if he can just suddenly do it at will. The narrative's kind of foreshadowing at the beginning of the chapter, and Yuji has some pretty intense focus. By the way, I forgot to mention this. Yuji hitting a Black Flash may actually do more soul damage against Sukuna, because when you hit a Black Flash, you're more focused, as we saw several characters, especially Nobara. And if he has more focus, maybe he's actually able to, you know, I guess like see the outline more. He's got more focus. He can see the soul more and actually shake up the Sukuna soul even more. So maybe that's the thing. Yuji has unlocked higher level is what I should say, blood manipulation. This would be awesome. Getting to see him use the full potential of the blood manipulation, that would be awesome. You know, so no complaints there. I mean, anything would be cool, to be honest. Yuji has awakened Sukuna's curse technique of flames. That would be amazing. Yuji can use a domain expansion. That's what I'm waiting for. Yuji awakened memory manipulation curse technique. He has no he has no memory manipulation. GEGE has outright confirmed he has no memory manipulation curse technique. Would be cool if he did though. Yuji's soul attacks have gone far stronger, so I just explained this. And people were saying I couldn't include it here because this was the tweet limit, but there's also the possibility that he awakened Itadori's curse technique. So he may get gravity, or I guess anti-gravity is what I should say. But then he could use reversal of curse technique, because he does have reverse curse technique, so he does have positive energy. He could make it gravity if he gets it. Heian Era Sukuna is perfect. I mean, you know, it's pretty cool. Like, this is like Sukuna when he's in Yuji's body, but if you remove the tattoos. It is pretty cool how his like bone structure actually changes, isn't it? It looks way cooler. Considering the fact that JJK is currently insanely popular, Gojo vs Sukuna will move the masses and create generational hype. Oh, you mean the anime? Oh, of course. That's going to be, hopefully it's a movie. That's going to be crazy, man. That is going to be absolutely insane if that happens. You know, we got this, you know, Sukuna going all out. By the way, shout Jive. This is awesome. Know what I found. Like, this is incredible. Shout Jive from Twitter. So if you haven't checked it out, check this out as well. What else is there? Alright, there's this meme as well. Lend me some blood, Choso. This is a 20x half-dead Sukuna I'm up against. This post is made by real Sukuna Glazers. I'm proud of this meme I made. I made it like sarcastically to kind of mock Sukuna fans, but I still thought it was a funny. I still thought it was a funny meme. And what else? You know, shout Eternal Flame as well. He predicted. I went over these like in the previous streams. So I don't really need to, but yeah. Eternal Flame predicted it, man. Shout out the goat for real, for real. Predicted Yuji, Sparks of Black Flash, and all that stuff. I'm not gonna scroll too far up because I don't want to show the chapter itself. Like, yeah, that's the chapter. I don't want to get copyrighted. I don't want to show like the actual pages from this chapter. Lend me some blood. It is really, it's tough, man. It's tough. It's a cool world out here. Yuji will get Ryu's sword, the Granite Sword, the legendary mythical sword that I've hyped up to no end. I'd love to see that. I would absolutely love to see that. Let us go back to OBS and hide the big monitor. But yeah. Honestly, I think Yuji's awakening will... Actually, you know what? I want to test something actually a little bit. I'll do this live on stream. I will actually change the emote right now. I wonder if it will like happen in real time. Wait a minute. Let me do this in real time. Wait a minute. It's gonna take a bit because my laptop's lagging. I'm streaming. Laptop's already like dying to begin with. It's been almost a decade. It's a great laptop, but it's just been around for too long. They doubted Eternal Flame. I mean, bro, should have never doubted the GOAT, man. You should have never doubted the GOAT. I mean, personally, it's most likely just going to be the Black Flash at will, which is awesome. I kind of misspoke in my video I made on it, like the spoiler video for this. I said it'd be boring. I don't mean it'd be awesome. Like, it definitely wouldn't be boring. I just mean it'd be boring in comparison. Like, if you got Sukuna's Flames of Curse technique, that would be like infinitely more hype than hitting Black Flashes at will. Again, Black Flashes at will, awesome, incredibly hype. Like, I will be there. I'll be eating it. It'll be peak fiction, but let's keep it at stack. If he pulls out the Flames, that's gonna break the internet, man, if that happens. You know what I mean? Alright, let us get this Yorozu emote in here. I'm sorry, Meme. You know, you've got too many allegations against your name. So many. Oh, it's just kind of ridiculous. So many kind of true, actually. Let me scroll down to the community tab, actually. So I've got that, and then the membership is like, it's such an odd place in YouTube. I don't know if I can actually share the channel that like YouTube Studio. I don't know if that's like against terms of service, TOS. Can I share that kind of thing? I don't know if I can. I'm not gonna be brave enough to share. I mean, what's the odds that like someone could be a snitch? Someone could like report to YouTube like, yo, get this guy, get him, YouTube staff. All right, memberships, perks. Let's add this Yorozu email, guys. Emoji, Alright. Mei, I am sorry. It was good having you. It was nice. Replace image. You're getting replaced. To Yorozu. My sixth favorite is Mei Yorozu. Oh, characters. Everyone has potential to rival Gojo. They have the potential, but will they ever reach that potential is the real question. You know, I think the only two people that have potential is Yuji and Yuta. Like, from the beginning, that's the only two people I've ever believed that's had that potential, and it's the only two people I ever believe will ever have that potential. Hakari and Maki are definitely powerful. I think they have super high potential, but I don't know if they'll ever reach. I think they can reach Gojo's level. Hakari's too much of a jackpot domain-reliant merchant, and he's just not versatile enough. And Maki, I think she's held back by hammer restriction, which is weird. Like, I misspoke. To reach that sort of level, you just need like godlike hacks, man, and a domain. A domain is a big one. Let's see. Where is the channel notes? Yorozu. Yama in Buddhism. He has flames like Sukuna in the art. Really? Okay. I'll Google after I quickly do this. All right. Let's see. Go back here, and Mei. Let me just double check to make sure that's the right quality. Yeah, it is. Okay, that's the right quality. Replace image. And finally, man, Yorozu, it's time. It's time. That is my goat, Yorozu. Which one's the right one though? Let me see. Wait, which Mei one did I just put in? Actually, let me just double check. Because there's two. Okay, I put the big one. Sorry, I know it doesn't make sense. That's because I'm not showing the screen. I just need to quickly, boom, and I'll name this emote. Congratulations, brother. Let's see. Thank you very much for subscribing, Dog Man. Thank you very much. It's much appreciated. Yorozu hype. Save and publish. All right, so we should have the goodbye, Mei. It was good knowing you. We should have Yorozu. Huh? Wait a minute. Oh wait. Let me. Wait. It's not in yet. It's not in yet. Wait a minute. I need to Wait a minute. Do this. So now it should be here. All right. Now we're good. Now we're good. All right. Here we go. Let's see how fast to update. Let me actually refresh the stream on my phone. Hakari vs. Yorozu quiz. It's here. It's already here. Look at this. Yeah, that's right. We got Yorozu in here, man. We got Yorozu in here. Wait, I want to make sure the quality isn't thingy though. Let me just compare. It's like caution it up. No, the quality. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. I was just a bit worried the quality was had degraded. All right. Okay, you said Yama, right? You said Yama from Buddhism. Let me look that up right now. Let's go. Yorozu time. That's what I'm talking about. Yama from Buddhism. Ism, but H silent. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Yuji will cook. Sukuna will. Yuji will cook. Sukuna will push back to Fuga domain. Yuta will pull up. Interesting. Sukuna will push them even more. And then Hakari, that's if he beats Thingy though. Alright, let's see this. Yama. Let me show the screen. Big monitor. You're overwhelming. You're overhyping Yorozu and Kenjaku way too much. I don't know where that Kenjaku came from. I haven't told about Kenjaku in a long time. Yorozu is awesome though. It kind of does, doesn't it? It kind of does look like it. The fire. Yama. Let me search Yama from Buddhism fire. Maybe that'll actually help. No, same thing. Yeah, okay, this one's really good. Please be huge. Go on. Come on. There we go. Okay, it's pretty big. Yeah, it kind of does. It kind of does look like it. Yeah, it does. 4 arms. Ooh, wait a minute. There's a lot of people that have 4 arms though. Like there's a lot. Plus, GEGE already said that he's based Sukuna off of the actual Ryomen Sukuna. Because there actually is a Ryomen Sukuna in oh my god, what is it called? the Nihon Shoki Chronicles of Japan, he has confirmed, like, he based Sukuna off of that Sukuna that already has 4 arms. It's an actual thing in Japan. Plus, there's like Ashura, which has 4 arms. There's a lot of people that have 4 arms, you know. But I don't know, like, if there's too deep of a connection. Maybe because like, he did make the Enmeten hand sign, so maybe, you know, who knows. Pretty cool though. I think that's pretty cool. Thanks for letting me know about that. That's pretty awesome. But it is about time we end the stream though. It was a lot of fun, guys. Thank you for everyone who came around. This is my full review on the chapter. I'll have a video. I've been going hard on the videos, in case you haven't noticed, like the last streams and videos. I think it's been okay, let me actually like count them. Holy shit. I think it's like 9-8 videos the past like 12 days and 5 streams, or 6 including this. Going pretty hard. I hope you guys have been enjoying the videos and streams and the grind. I hope you guys have been enjoying it. If there's anything you want to say, let me know now. You know, it's kind of like marriage, you know. Speak now before or forever hold your tongue. So yeah, 8 videos in the past 12 days. And how many streams? 6. God damn. I mean, I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. If you are, you know, go to stream. Thank you very much. It's good to have you guys. It's very fun, guys. I appreciate everyone who comes by. Whether you chat or you don't, you're just lurking. It's fun. It's I appreciate it. It's very sweet, guys. Thank you very much. And yeah, take care. You know, YouTube, RM, Randall, 7 Sins, Pink, Mr. 60, Washek. Hey, Washeko7. I'm pretty sure I see you on Twitter quite often. That's you. Goodbye. And you guys clicked as well. It was much appreciated, man. It is a lot of fun. But yeah, that is all from me. And I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Alright, take care, guys. See ya. Actually, wait, before I end it, let me actually stream end it. Hey, it still works. I haven't used this in a long time. I'll have this play for a bit. Alright, take care, guys.